I kept my indoor plants watered for 40 days while I was on vacation. I used a combination of three watering rules and the best watering system, which I found after testing three different ones last year. Let me share how I did it. Plus, I will give you three bonus tips at the end, which helps to keep containers watered for long. I picked this plastic drip spike, a glass watering globe, and an Oya spike as my three test subjects to find the best one for vacation watering. I picked three okra plants of the same size, planted them in the same size containers, placed them right next to each other to give them same weather conditions. There are three rounds to this battle of the watering systems. In round 1, I focused on the plastic dripping spike. I gave it a plastic bottle full of water. So while this round 1 happens, let me show you rule number 1. When you are ready to go on vacation, move the containers away from direct sun. Instead, use a plant light like this one to provide light to it. My pothose plant is in my kitchen, on top of the cabinets. The windows do provide a lot of light, but it never gets direct sun. This first rule allows the container to go on little longer without watering, because direct sunlight means heat as well, which causes water to evaporate more. Let us now look at how the dripping spike did. I kept the drip to very minimum, but even then the water bottle was empty by next day. To be very sure, I did set the dripping spike in another place, in one of my raised bed, and tested it twice. It lasted nearly one day on both the occasions. So, the plastic dripping spike failed the test for watering during vacation. Now, two contestants remain, the glass watering globe and the OS spike. For round 2, to be fair to the watering globe, I filled the Oya bottle with exact same amount of water that the watering globe can hold. Round 2 begins. While this round progresses, when you go on a vacation, move the indoor plant containers away from drafts before you leave. Air movement causes a surprising amount of evaporation. With the second rule, you can stretch the time your plants can go without water a bit further. Looking at our Oya spike and the water globe in round 2, the Oya spike ran out of water after third day, while the glass water globe lasted 5 days. But this is not the actual result of this whole experiment. There is still a round 3. The glass globe won round 2 for obvious reasons. It has a very small opening, which when combined with capillary reaction caused little amount of water to be released from the glass watering globe. Compare this to the Oya spike, which has a much larger surface area, letting a lot of water escape at the same time. I have to say though, I'm very impressed by the performance of the glass watering globe, and I did use it to keep my plants watered for 40 days. I even went on vacation during this period. I will show it soon what I did. Let us first finish the last round of this experiment. Again, we have Oya spike facing the watering globe. This time, the Oya spike gets to play to its full strength, which means I picked the largest bottle I could find. I filled it with water and put it upside down on the Oya spike. The watering globe was also filled to the max, and we let this round begin. The watering globe again lasted for 5 days. In the Oya spike, once the water was gone from the bottle, there was still some left in the Oya spike itself. It took about 11 days for the Oya spike to completely lose all the water. Remember that this experiment happened in summer and outdoors. So 5 days and 11 days is not bad at all. Indoors, this time is extended even more. I will link in description the Oya spikes as well as these watering globes because you're going to see what amazing stuff these two are capable of. The winner of this third round of experiment was definitely Oya spike. But like I said earlier, I was impressed by the watering globes as well. So I combined both of these with the 3 rules to keep my plants watered while I was on vacation. Wait, I have not yet talked about the third and most important rule, which is this. One of my favorite watering method for containers is to water them from bottom. This is very useful, especially when you're going on a vacation. Watch this. I watered this pothose from bottom as well as gave it a watering globe filled with water. What happened next is the potting mix in the container soaked up a lot of water and got saturated with it. This saturated water lasted a long time. But before I tell you how long, you can see how long it took me to run this experiment. Even the plants grew from this size to this size during this experiment. A lot of hard work and a lot of patience goes in so that I can share result-based practical gardening tips with you all. It would mean a lot if you can show your support towards my dedication by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. A lot of people need the information in this video as well, and the only way to take it to them is by sharing it. So please do so. I also give away my free garden planner on my blog when you subscribe to it. The link is in description. Thanks for hearing me out. Back to the experiment. The water-saturated potting mix held on to water for 9 days, and it did not draw water from the watering globe during this time. The evaporation did its job, and eventually, after 9 days, the water from the watering globe started going down. At this point, I left for vacation, and this is where the water level was in the globe when I left. Before leaving, I did the same for this tropical plant, watered it from bottom, and filled the OS spike in it with a large water bottle on top. Keep in mind, you want to do this only for the plants that need more water, such as pothos, not for the ones like a cactus because a cactus will drown. Honestly, I was a bit nervous about what I would find when I returned from my 3 weeks of travel. So, 3 weeks later, when I returned, I took a deep breath and hoped my plants would still be alive. And this is what I saw. I was very happy to find both plants alive. The pothos has been going on for almost 30 days at this point, and the tropical plant has been going on for 21 days without any additional watering. And there was still water in the watering globe and the OS spike bottle, so I let the experiment continue to see how long it would last. You can see the drop in water levels as time passed by. For the pothos, I let the water run out completely, which happened on March 28th. So this one lasted 35 days. But at this point, I inserted a watering meter in it, and it was still showing a lot of moisture in the potting mix. I kept my counter going and kept looking at the meter every day. It finally moved into the dry range on 1st of April, which was the 40th day. The plant still looked fine on 1st, and finally looked droopy on 2nd April, which is when I finally watered it. Notice the pothos has succulent leaves so it doesn't become droopy easily, but the tropical plant started showing signs of being sad. On 2nd April, which is on the 10th day after I returned, there was still water in the Oya bottle, and I knew it could go longer without watering. But I couldn't bear it anymore, and I watered it from bottom. Here is a before and after picture of this plant when I watered it. So the Oya spike kept going on till 30th day, and there was still water in it. So to be fair to it, I would say it might have gone for another 10 days. I still have 3 bonus tips you can use to extend the time between watering containers. I mulch the pothos with old pothos leaves because mulching reduces the evaporation and keeps water in for longer. Terracotta containers lose water at a faster pace because the terracotta has small pores which let the water escape from all directions. So switching to plastic containers will reduce this evaporation. Also, the bigger containers lose water at a slower rate because they have a lot of soil buffer in there as compared to smaller containers. So choosing bigger container can help. I gathered more than 40 containers for $0, and with inflation not giving up, I have 9 more resources to get containers for free or for very less cost. I have it covered in the video linked on the screen. Check it out next.